London, a vibrant metropolis teeming with life and culture, hides a dark secret beneath its bustling streets. Amidst the iconic landmarks and the hustle and bustle of daily life, a grim reality lurks in the shadows. The city is grappling with a surge in gang violence, a brutal reality that casts a long shadow over its communities. This surge has not only disrupted the peace, but has also instilled a sense of fear and insecurity among the residents. Knife crime has reached epidemic proportions, with over 15,000 incidents reported last year. Each incident is a stark reminder of the pervasive danger that looms over the city, affecting people from all walks of life. These aren't just numbers, they represent shattered lives, families torn apart, and a climate of fear that pervades daily life. The grief and loss experienced by these families are immeasurable, leaving scars that may never heal. Behind these statistics are young people, often children, lured into a life of crime and violence. They are drawn into this dangerous world, sometimes out of desperation, sometimes out of a misguided sense of belonging. They are victims of circumstance, failed by a system that has left them vulnerable to the allure of gangs. The lack of opportunities, inadequate support systems and broken homes contribute to their plight, making them easy targets for gang recruitment. The streets have become battlegrounds, with postcode wars claiming territory and innocent lives caught in the crossfire. These territorial disputes often escalate into violent confrontations, leaving communities in a state of perpetual tension. This is the reality of gang violence in London, a reality we can no longer afford to ignore. It demands urgent attention and action from all sectors of society to address the root causes and find sustainable solutions to this pressing issue. The impact of gang activity on London is far-reaching and devastating. It affects every aspect of life in the city, from the safety of its streets to the well-being of its residents. It's not just about the violence itself, although that is horrifying enough. The constant threat of gang-related crime creates an environment of fear and uncertainty. It's about the atmosphere of intimidation that pervades communities, making everyday life a struggle. People are constantly on edge, worried about their safety and the safety of their loved ones. The fear that keeps residents prisoners in their own homes is palpable. Many are too scared to go out after dark, and some even avoid certain areas altogether. Businesses are reluctant to invest in gang-ridden areas, perpetuating a cycle of poverty and deprivation. This lack of economic opportunity only serves to strengthen the gang's hold on these communities. Young people, deprived of opportunities and positive role models, see gangs as their only option. With few alternatives, they are drawn into a life of crime and violence. They are groomed and exploited, drawn in with promises of money, status and belonging. These promises are often empty, leading to a life of hardship and danger. But the reality is far bleaker. Many young people find themselves trapped in a cycle of violence and criminal activity with no clear way out. They become trapped in a world of violence with no escape route. The consequences are dire, not just for the individuals involved, but for the entire community. The grip of these gangs is tightening its hold on London, and we must act now to break free. It will take a concerted effort from law enforcement, community leaders and residents to reclaim our streets and restore peace to our neighbourhoods. Understanding the rise of gangs in London requires examining the complex social and economic factors at play. These factors are deeply intertwined and have been evolving over decades, creating a challenging environment for many residents. Poverty, inequality, and a lack of opportunity create fertile ground for gangs to flourish. In areas where economic prospects are bleak, young people often see gangs as a means of survival and a way to gain respect and financial stability. Young people growing up in deprived areas surrounded by violence and despair are particularly vulnerable. The absence of positive role models and community support systems exacerbates their plight, pushing them towards gang involvement as a form of escape and belonging. Social media has also played a role, providing gangs with a platform to recruit, intimidate rivals, and glamorize their lifestyle. The digital age has made it easier for gangs to spread their influence and reach a wider audience, often targeting impressionable youth. Law enforcement faces an uphill battle. The complexity of gang networks and their deep roots in the community make it difficult for police to dismantle them effectively. Cuts to police funding have stretched resources thin, making it harder to tackle the root causes of gang violence. With fewer officers on the streets and limited resources, the ability to implement long-term strategies is severely compromised. Addressing these underlying issues is crucial to breaking the cycle of gang recruitment and violence. Community initiatives, educational programs, and increased support for at-risk youth are essential components in creating a safer and more equitable society.